ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On Mike with Mike King here. This is part of the Mike King Biz Media Network, ESPN Richmond, 5 to 7 a.m. But you know what time it is. It is a time for Empower People. We got the one and only Tiffany Greene here. Welcome back, ma'am.
Woo, woo. Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year.
All right, tone it down some. All righty, so here, tell folks who you are and what you do. And then it's total excitement time.
Okay, cool. So I'm Tiffany Greene, and I am the founder of Empower People. I'm also the executive director, and as you know, the what?
Empower People.
You love that word. I know what you do. Ex officio of Empower People as well. Remember the three things, founder?
Somebody else who was that.
You're like, she really was the only one.
She did not make that up. It just sounds official.
So, Empower People is a nonprofit that provides education, connection, and support to mission and purpose-driven leaders so they can drive positive impact and help empower people.
Empower people. Okay, we're 2024 is upon us. Let's put a wrap on 2023 for the Empower People movement. What were some of the highlights?
Well, 2023 was a big year because Empower People really, I started creating it formally at the end of 2022, but we did not get our 501c3 status until March, toward the end of March of 2023. And then we didn't formally cut the ribbon and launch until June of 2023. So it was a major year just to kick off, right? And so far for 2023, as I was looking at the data, we've impacted or touched upon about 100 different business leaders just in those 6 months between June and the end of 2023. So I think that was an incredible beginning. We had launched over I think we had 14 or 15 courses that we offered in 2022. We had one mission purpose alignment ecosystem going strong called Empower Forum. We had Empower Hour events every month, I believe, starting in September, Mike. And then we also had what else did we the launch. I keep thinking back to the launch, the ribbon cutting ceremony in June, and the partnership with Chesterfield Chamber.
The partnership with the Chesterfield Chamber. Okay, so you had an idea, you took it to fruition. Somebody's out there right now listening, and they have an idea. Talk to them about taking that and moving it across the finish line to get started.
So what Empower People can help somebody do if they're trying to make 2024 a banner year, is that your question, Mike? Just want to make sure I'm answering the right question. So what Empower People can do, there's a variety of things Empower People can do to help. So through the education, the cool thing about our educational programs is they're all virtual, so there's no excuse. You can attend them. And if you can't attend them, the live event, we record them for our members so they can attend them on the members only website. But we always leave 20 minutes of advising to each of these courses. So you get all this instruction, you hopefully understand the concepts and the theories, but now you can ask personalized questions in each of these courses. So what you just taught, how can I apply this to my business or to my leadership, right? So you're getting advice within your free membership. And so we offer, when you sign up for Empower People's membership, the free one, everybody's signing a confidentiality. And that's why our Q&A segment, where you get to ask the instructor or the advisor, that recording is only on the members only site because it is confidential. So we will open up some of the instruction publicly, but the Q&A is confidential because that's where you get your questions answered. So for example, we have this Thursday coming up, Risk Management 101. So if you have some concerns about what impending things could be happening in your business, right? Because crisis can happen. We hope it doesn't happen, right? The unforeseen circumstances happen, but what can you do to mitigate that risk? There might be something that you personally as a business owner might be going, I'm personally concerned about this for my business. Well, guess what? Now you can ask the advisor, Millie Corsoro, on Thursday about that specifically. So that's really how I believe that's one of the ways Empower People can help you, because now you're getting advisors, right? Helping you for no additional cost. Also, we have the Empower Hour, and you know the Empower Hour, right? Because it's full of the superhero squad, right?
Yeah.
And this squad of superheroes, these are all subject matter experts. And this is your opportunity to ask any questions you have about business, management, or leadership to these advisors. And you're going to get a plethora of knowledge from different subject matter expertise. So, you got HR, you got legal or risk management, you have operations, you have brand strategy, DEI, communications. I mean, we have all kinds of experts, because if you go to the Empower People website, when I say we have advisors, we have approximately, don't quote me on this because I haven't counted in a while, but we have approximately 15 advisors at Empower People. And each of those advisors has different subject matter expertise. So you, in theory, you just extended your business knowledge base by 15 experts by joining Empower People.
There you go. And that is building up your own personal internal ecosystem, what you talk about.
It takes an ecosystem. It takes an ecosystem. And so within Empower People, you have this ecosystem of expertise you can draw on. But let's say there's another membership tier, and that membership tier is, okay, I want to align with folks or other leaders that have similar missions and purpose as I do. So now we can structure a formal ecosystem to collaborate and work together to drive our aligned purpose and mission. So for example, for one MPA, mission, purpose, alignment ecosystem that we have right now is called Power Forum, and their collective mission and purpose that they're driving is to help small businesses and nonprofits thrive, because the why behind that, or the purpose behind that, is that because they believe small businesses and nonprofits are the backbone, the cornerstone to our economy, but more importantly, to our communities and quality of life. So we have that one. We're also building another ecosystem, mission, purpose, alignment ecosystem for making sports accessible and inclusive to all children in the Richmond metro area. We're building that one. And we're also building another ecosystem to make sure that mental health and wellness is accessible and inclusive to all people in the Richmond metro area. And so when we're building these ecosystems, we're looking for 6 to 8 leaders who are committed to this purpose and say, I want to push the needle on this. I want to do something. Because money is good. You and I talked that, but money is just a means to an end. So even if you have the money, what are you gonna do? What is the purpose behind the money? How do you want to impact? What is the point, right? So through these ecosystems, it's like having a business. You have to have a strategic plan, you have to have a business plan, and you have to have metrics, and you have to measure your results. So we're in the business of doing, and Empower People's helping all these leaders do.
On the mic here, Tiffany Greene, Empower People. How can people find out information about Empower People?
I like to think they can find a lot of information on a lot of different places about Empower People. So they can go to the empowerpeople.org website. That's MPWRPeople.org. #Empower People. That's right. They can find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and moderately on Instagram. But the best places it's our website, LinkedIn, Facebook, and definitely YouTube.
Well, so let's circle back to the Empower Hour. When you have the number of subject matter experts, you get them one at a time elsewhere. But that day, you're getting 4 or more sitting there at the same time that you're able to ask the question at no cost to you. That's something that's really powerful for Empower People to produce that. So we have Stacey Briley Goodman, John Rabel, we have Brian Kinsey, we have Tiffany Greene, that is me. And what we do is, we talk about topics, and people have the ability and the opportunity to contact us and ask questions. So as John Rabel says, if you think you need a lawyer today,
late.
You needed it yesterday or the day before. So,
and what's really cool about the Empower Hour, and I think this is what makes it just that powerful, is exactly what you're saying. But think about it this way. If you come with let's say you have an HR question, an employee issue, and you present that employee issue to the Empower Hour panelists, of course, who's probably going to answer, take a stab at that question is going to be Brian Kinsey, our HR expert, right? So there'll be a dialogue there. But whenever you have one issue in a company, nothing operates as a silo in a company, right? If you have an issue in accounting, it's rippling throughout the business. If you have an issue in HR, it's rippling throughout the business. So that one question will now make the other experts go, and that's how that's going to affect your business from this standpoint. So this is what you need to consider as you're going through that, because nothing happens in a silo. Everything is like a spider web. It's interconnected. And so that's the power of the squad.
There you go, Tiffany Greene. And when can people engage the Empower Hour, ma'am?
It's the first Wednesday of every month at 9 o'clock. Either going to be virtually or in the studio. Right now, people are preferring virtually, to be honest with you, Mike. So I think we're going to be doing it virtually.
We're going to be
Because of
doing
all the yuck out there right now. Everyone's sick.
that is true. Tiffany Greene here with us on the mic with Mike. You can hear Tiffany on ESPN Richmond. That's where she hangs out. Ma'am, so let's talk about what is in the news as far as purpose-driven organizations that you've seen something recently that possibly could have gone, it wasn't taken in the best way. Anything come to mind?
I think, well, not necessarily in the news. Nothing on the news right now is coming top of mind. But what is top of mind is at the beginning of the year, and listening to a lot of business owners, business leaders, everyone is focused in on what they want to achieve in 2024.
Okay.
Right. And what I'm hearing is they're all talking about their goals. Well, last year, this was my revenue. I want to increase that by 6%, 10%, whatever that might be. I also want to increase my employee staff. This is my goal for that. I want to increase quality production, all these goals. This is what I'm hearing, right? And what I always ask is not just number one, why do you want to do that? It could be.
It could be money,
It could be.
but as you say, money is not the driver.
That's right. So I say, why do you want to do that? And how are you going to do that if you didn't do it last year? Because a lot of the folks that I'm hearing said, I did accomplish some of my goals, but my goal this year is to accomplish the goals I didn't accomplish last year. So what about this year is going to make last year, like what about this year's different than last year, right? And so I will always say everything comes back to purpose. Everything comes back to purpose, right? So if you go to your staff, let's say in January, and you issue the new sales plan, and that new sales plan isn't just for your salespeople, your operations people have to follow it. They need to know what your goals are for the year, how are you driving the operations of it, right? So you're unleashing the goals of the year, right? Everyone is either going to say, have clarity on, we're doing this to what? We're doing this because those that we're serving, let's make an assumption. Let's say you make widgets for the healthcare industry, right? We are driving this increase because we want to have a more positive impact for pediatric doctors in the healthcare profession. We want to be more aggressive because we want to help more children who are having this medical issue, right?
Yeah.
As an employee, how do you feel about that?
I feel great.
Right? How do you feel about last year we generated this much money? Now this year we want to generate this much money. And oh, by the way, if we hit our goal, there might be a bonus, there might be some profit sharing, there might be that. How are you going to feel about that?
It's okay. That's okay. If I'm going to get a piece of it, I may feel better, but I have to have confidence in the organization. Like salespeople are always leery when we get the new sales plan. It's never good for us.
Well, it's not that it's never good for us. The skepticism comes from, you're making it look good, but are you taking a benefit away from me? And you're trying to find the loophole of where that benefit's disappearing. And why is that? You know why that is?
No, ma'am.
Because purpose isn't being shared. You're basing a salesperson only on the profit. So many people think the only factor that's important to a salesperson is what? Commission, making quota or exceeding quota. Now, I'm not saying that's not important to a salesperson. It is. That's part of the reason why you hire them. But it's a fallacy to think that that's the only thing that matters to them. So if you present it to a salesperson in such a light, they're thinking that's what's important to you. It's all about the money for you. So you're going to want to keep more money in your pocket. So I got to make sure when you hand me my sales plan, you're not, sorry, I got to say it, screwing me to better yourself, because we're all just in it for the money. But if you drive with purpose, that's a whole different beast, right?
Tiffany Green here giving us words of wisdom. Talking now, that's coming from the sales side. The other part to that one is when everyone gets into the sales process, they don't understand, because very few people do we have that conversation with in clear black and white, which is operations people don't have it, the marketing people for the most part don't have. No one has the board up in the area of who's selling and who's not. So we live and die basically. If you're not having purpose in the organization, that board right there says everything.
The board, the purpose has to be communicated internally first in order for it to resonate externally. So purpose is communicated through brand. And oftentimes people think brand is an external messaging tool, right? You think of logo, you think of commercials, you think of all that. So it's all external. But the reality is the brand is developed and has to be bought into and adhered to, be the culture of internally before anybody externally will buy into that. And so that means not just the salespeople, not just the operations people, it's the people that are in accounts receivable. It's the people that are in accounts payable. It's all your admins. It's literally everybody, because all these people are the face of the brand. These people have to represent the core values and the purpose to everybody that they're interacting with. And if everyone is representing that, your brand equity is invaluable. As soon as you have one employee who feels like has distrust in the organization, does not understand the core values of the organization, guess what happens to your brand equity? It goes down. It creates, number one, as people call it, a cancer within the organization. What do they mean by that cancer? You're decreasing the brand. You're depleting the value of the brand, because the brand is the purpose. The brand represents the purpose. And when that happens, it carries out externally.
Tiffany Green here. Empower people. That is what you get during the Empower Hour. That is part of being a member of Empower People. It is a powerful organization out there empowering people. Purpose-driven organizations run a lot smoother. As I always say, it's not the touchy-feely, it's not the gobbledygook. There is a science to it. There is a bottom line effect.
Exactly. Brand is based in brand, purpose, culture is actually all rooted in science. It's all rooted in science.
All right, Tiffany Green, what's new and upcoming 2023 that people could be on the lookout for with Empower People?
So this Thursday, we have the Risk Management 101 course with Melanie Corsoro. That's 1 o'clock on looking at my calendar, on the 11th. And then on the 25th, Thursday, which is a Thursday as well, at 1 o'clock, we have Dr. Christine Fugelier giving a course on DEI and how to enact DEI principles internally, regardless if you're a micro enterprise to a large corporation. How do you do that? She's going to be giving that course on the 25th. And then I think it's February 7th, that first Wednesday of the month, is our next Empower Hour. And we're going to have myself and you, John Rabel from Launch. He's our attorney, risk management expert. We have Brian Kinsey. He's the HR expert and owner of Tinker HR. Stacy Briley Goodman. She's our operations expert and owner of Origamic Solutions. And we're going to have Suzanne Calvert. And I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna, oh, you know Susanna Culver, right?
Right?
You remember the name of our organization? I always mess it up. Let me look it up because it's gonna bother me.
Author, correct?
What is it?
She's an author. That's how. Is he in the world of positivity?
No, Susanna is Family and Community Healing, that nonprofit. Okay, so she talks. Her focus is how do we follow the hero's journey? She's all about purpose too, but the focus is a lot on introspection and how you communicate with others. And then we're
Ooh,
also going to have Dr. Christine Fuselier, and she's and her expertise that she's going to be bringing to the table for the Empower Hours DEI.
there you go. Now that's an all-star lineup. Tiffany Greene, one last time, how can people find you out there?
They can find us on empowerpeople.org. That's MPWRpeople.org. Hashtag Empower People. They can also find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And they can reach me. I prefer email because I'm in and out of meetings so much. TJ Greene with an E at the end at empowerpeople.org.
That's where you find her. Also on ESPN Richmond at 5 a.m. on Tuesday. That's where you find her. Tiffany dropping nuggets of knowledge on us. All right, you've been listening to Mike King, Tiffany Greene here. This is not the Empower Hour. This is just a supercharged half hour right here. You know, we save the whole superhero squad for, you know, the first Wednesday of every month.
Think of that as a way to energize your month. Get
That's
it
right.
off to the on the right foot.
Start the month off on the mic. Mike, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, ma'am.
Thanks, Mike. Evolve together.